Hello everyone, my name is Father Vaughn Yakman. I'm a missionary priest of the Institute of the Incarnate Word in Natchez, Mississippi. Today's Gospel comes from Luke chapter 17, verse 7 through 10. Jesus said to the apostles, "Who among you would say to your servant, who has just come in from plowing or tending the sheep in the field, 'Come here immediately and take your place at table'? Would he not rather say to him, 'Prepare something for me to eat. Put on your apron and wait on me while I eat and drink. You may eat and drink when I am finished'? Is he grateful to that servant because he did what he was commanded? So should it be with you. When you have done all you have been commanded, say, 'We are unprofitable servants. We have done what we were obliged to do.'" In response to the apostles' request, "Increase our faith," our Lord presents the image of a servant who dutifully does everything his master asks, without expecting any special reward. The Greek word for servant, doulos, that we find in this passage of Luke's Gospel, can also be translated as slave, making this image even more striking. However, the idea of being a slave may appear repugnant to our modern sensibility. We are right to reject the idea of any human being claiming ownership over a fellow human being. But our relationship with God, our Creator, is another story, since we are totally dependent on God's benevolence for our very existence. As St. Paul says, "In Him we live and move and have our being." We can truthfully compare ourselves as unprofitable servants or slaves. Now, where human slavery would be a disgrace, the total and unconditional service of our Heavenly Father is an invitation rather to glory. In his first words to the Romans, St. Paul calls himself doulos Christo Jesu, Paul, a slave of Jesus Christ. He is proud to consider himself a slave of the Lord. This is the great paradox that permeates all of our Christian life. The more we humble ourselves, accepting and submitting to the demands of our Divine Master, the more freedom we will have. Submitting ourselves to the sweet yoke of Christ by obeying His commands to love God above all else, to love our neighbor as ourselves, to forgive without limits, and to be merciful even as the Father is merciful, we become more radically free. The constant threat to this freedom is sin, as Christ Himself warns us. Whoever sins becomes the slave of sin. This is the choice we face each day, whether to serve ourselves by sin or to serve Christ, and thereby to gain a greater freedom in the Lord. Today, let us turn to our Mother, the Blessed Virgin Mary, who declared herself both the handmaid of the Lord and, at the same time, one who all generations would call blessed. We ask her to obtain for us the grace of true humility, so that we can enter into the glorious service of our God.